In Florida, what type of damages are you entitled to in a personal injury lawsuit? Well, you're entitled to economic damages, which is your lost wages, your property damage, and your medical expenses, both past and future medical expenses. You are also entitled to non-economic damages, and that is your pain and suffering, loss of enjoyment of life, emotional distress, and those things that aren't necessarily tangible. You can't put a number on it, but those are your non-economic damages. Now, it's important to note that Florida is a comparative negligence state, which means that if you are found to be at any percentage of fault, whatever recovery you get from a jury will be reduced by the percentage of fault that you have. So for an example, if you were awarded $100,000 in a personal injury lawsuit by a jury, and the jury found you to be 20% at fault, then that award would be reduced by 20%, meaning that you would receive 80%, or $80,000 rather, not the full $100,000 that you were awarded. Something else to note is that speaking about the economic damages and the non-economic damages you're entitled to, in an auto accident, there's 5 things in particular that you are entitled to. First and foremost, you're entitled to your past medical expenses, which is also your current medical expenses. Number 2, you're entitled to your future medical expenses. Those are things that doctors or medical providers have recommended for you in the future. Medical procedures, additional treatment, you're entitled to that. The third thing that you're entitled to is your lost wages. What you lost in your inability to be able to work due to this auto accident. And then the fourth thing that you're entitled to is your future loss of earning capacity. And this means that you were injured so badly or poorly that you were unable to do the same job that you once were able to do, and therefore you're entitled to compensation for that disability. And then if a jury determines that you have a permanent injury, you are also entitled to pain and suffering in Florida. And that is, pain and suffering is also classified, as I mentioned earlier, as non-economic damages. And that goes to the whole thing of things that you can't put a price on it. Pain and suffering, your newborn baby, you're not able to pick that baby up, you're not able to play with them because of your shoulder injury, your back injury, whatever injury you may have sustained as a result of the car accident. And it goes to your loss of enjoyment of life, and emotional distress. So you, again, and kind of recapping everything we just spoke about, there are a few things that you're entitled to when you're calculating damages in Florida. When you're involved in an auto accident, you're entitled to your economic damages again, which is your lost wages, your medical bills, and your property damage expenses from the car crash. You're entitled to your non-economic damages, which is your pain and suffering, your loss of enjoyment of life, your emotional distress. And those are things that you can't necessarily put a cost on it, that we discussed earlier. And so that is what you're entitled to in Florida. Again, this is attorney Rob Johnson with Carter Injury Law, and we provide a no-fee, no-cost legal consultation. If you or your family or friends have been in an auto accident, I'd be happy to speak with you. Please feel free to give us a call.